Test 1 2. Yeah, test 1 2.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
We're good. We're good. Yeah. Down is this way. Yep.
So
Keep it on the long jump for a while. You trying to do a split screen with that? Picture in picture.
good afternoon. This is Steve Mazzone from Ocean State Running. We're back here at the PCTA Fieldhouse for the boys Bayhay, Dwyer, and Headley division meets. We're starting off with the Headley division meets, so we'll be doing those meets shortly. But again, we're back here at the Providence Career and Technical Academy Fieldhouse for the third straight day of covering league meets and the second straight week. And we're gonna have on the track is the 3,000 meter run that should be coming up shortly. And scheduled in that race, we have 8 runners. Ruby Nunnery of North Kingstown, Sophia Dagnova of North Kingstown, Molly Sullivan of North Kingstown, Logan Shunny of East Greenwich, Audrey Turcott of Smithfield, Sequoia Droulette of Lincoln, Reese Fays of East Greenwich, and Elisa Chen of East Greenwich. So as you can see, we have our cross-country state champion, Reese Fays, in the 3,000. Last week she won the 1,500 and the 1,000, so this week running slightly longer. And you know she's going to come to race like she always does. So that's our top seed, Reese Fays of East Greenwich. So right there we have our cameras at the long jump. They're all getting their jumps in before the competition begins. And I'm looking over at the starting line, and we are having our 3,000 meter runners lining up. So that event should be going off shortly. Top seed, East Greenwich's Reese Fays, the cross-country state champion. And last week, Riley Shunny, her teammate, won this race. So expect her to possibly follow suit today. And there we have our 3,000 meter competitors. And over there in lane number 7, Reese Faze. And our first event is underway here at the PCTA for our free live stream. And as expected, Reese Faze taking control here. Already with a 15-meter lead over the competition, and we haven't even finished a lap. And increasing it as we speak. So Reese Faze of East Greenwich, about 37, 38 seconds at the 200-meter mark. So definitely going out quick, as she always does. Throughout the cross-country season, you often saw her bolt to the front and just go to work. And I'm not surprised with what I'm seeing right now.
Check batteries, make sure it's plugged in.
So Reese Faze about 80 seconds after 400 meters. Already about an 8-second lead after just 2 laps of this 15-lap race. And right there in the chase pack, North Kingstown teammates Ruby Nunnery, Sophia Dagnova, and Molly Sullivan. .600 meters, about 2 minutes for Reese Faze. Can I? They keep swapping. So Reese Faze about 2:40 after 800 meters. So Reese Faze taking control in this race right from the beginning and continuously building on that lead that she started right from the first lap. One more lap and she's going to be hitting the mile mark. And right now, 4:43 on the clock with one more lap. So she's going to be going through that mile in very fast time.
There's in the 15.
So Reese Faze, 5:24 unofficially after that first mile. She's already lapping some of the runners in the field. So she's obviously going for a very fast time here today in the Headley division meet. So as I said earlier, Reese Faze, the cross-country state champion this year. She ran 17:43.51 at that meet. Also the Class C champion for cross-country, undefeated throughout the season. This is a race that Reese has not run too often, so right now it looks like a 12:02 for 3,200 meters is her PR. So that's about 11:20, 11:22 for 3K. So she is going a whole lot faster than that today. Again, 5:24, 5:25 at the mile mark. So a low 10-minute time she's on pace to run right now. With none of her competitors in sight. She has already lapped the second, third, and fourth place runners. Right now, 8 runners have gone under 10 minutes this season in the country, including LaSalle's Kaylee Armitage in the VA Showcase, and that's where all those times were run this year so far. And Reese, I'm guessing, is trying to get close to that time, trying to get close to 10 minutes, and doing it by herself. Sydney Thorvaldsen of Wyoming running 9:09.70 at the VA Showcase, and Kaylee Armitage running 9:57.11. So she has the top time in the state. But Reese Faze has got 100 meters left and 9:47 on the clock. So she's going to be just over 10 minutes. So unofficially 10:08 for Reese Faze in a solo effort. Again, she took the lead right from the beginning, had almost a 15-20 meter lead after just one lap.
Thank you guys so much for doing this. All my parents are psyched that you at least have this option.
And it looks like we're going to have Ruby Nunnery finishing second, breaking from her teammates. And Ruby's going to be just over 11 minutes. Looks like about 11:01, 11:02 unofficially. So a dominating performance by Reese Faze of East Greenwich. 10:07 unofficially. A time that would rank her number 11 in the country so far. And number 2 in the state, behind Kaylee Armitage's 9:57.11 at the VA Showcase. So next on the track, we will have the 4x200 meter relay. We still have some finishers here in the 3,000, but right when this event is done, we'll have 2 heats of the 4x200. Heat number 1, Scituate, Smithfield, and Lincoln scheduled to race. And as you can see, we switched over to the high jump pit, the long jump pit. Be tough doing the high jump there. So the teams scheduled to race today are Cranston East, or shall I say compete today, because we do have some the throwing events and the jumping events. So scheduled are Cranston East, Cranston West, East Greenwich, Lincoln, North Kingstown, North Smithfield, Pontigansett, Scituate, Smithfield, and West Warwick. And following this meet at 12:30 will be our Bayhay division. And concluding the day is our Dwyer division. So basically about 7 hours of track and field here at the PCTA. So if you're a fan of high school track and field, keep us tuned because we'll be here all day with the Headley, Bayhay, and Dwyer division girls meets. Yesterday we had the boys, today the girls take the track. And if you haven't heard already, yesterday, Moses Brown, sophomore, Sophia Goriaron, running 1 minute and 27.02 seconds for 600 meters at the 757 Showdown in Virginia. That is a national sophomore record and number 2 all time for 600 meters. Unbelievable. Sophia, it doesn't surprise me any race that she runs. It seems like she always comes to run and always runs an eye-popping performance. She just beat Rosine Willis of Wisconsin in the race. Rosine was leading throughout the race, in Sophia last straightaway got her with about 20 meters to go in an unbelievable performance. So 1 minute 27.02 seconds, dipping just under Sammy Watson's sophomore national record. And here we have again the 4x200 meter relay. This is the first of 2 heats: Scituate, Smithfield, and Lincoln in this heat. And that's Smithfield taking the lead after the first leg. About 28, 29 seconds on the clock, so a strong leg there for Smithfield. About a 5-second lead for Smithfield as we approach the third lap. Right now, this is our second leg on the track. Right around 1:02 on the handoff. One lap to go in. Our leader from the start, Smithfield, increasing its lead and well on their way to winning heat number 1 of 2 of the 4x200 meter relay. So Smithfield winning heat number 1. It looks like just over 2 minutes for Smithfield.
Yeah, they go a little high, I think.
And there we have our cameras at the high jump. Looks like Cranston West. And Smithfield, official time 2:05.81 to win heat number 1. And now on the track is heat number 2. We have West Warwick, East Greenwich, Cranston West, and North Kingstown. So we'll be switching over there soon. But here we have the high jump. So 2:05.81, the time to beat in this heat. So heat number 2 of the 4x200. West Warwick, East Greenwich, Cranston West, and North Kingstown. And that's Cranston West taking the early lead after the first leg. So Cranston West, North Kingstown, East Greenwich, and West Warwick battling in those third and fourth positions. So about 54 seconds on that handoff. Cranston West continuing to lead this race. North Kingstown gaining, but I don't know if they'll have enough to catch Cranston West. Although we do have a very strong leg by North Kingstown. We could have a race. Cranston West just enough to hold on to a fast-charging North Kingstown. East Greenwich and West Warwick taking those next two positions.
55-meter hurdles and dash, check in. 55-meter hurdles and dash, check in.
152.56 for Cranston West. North Kingstown, 158.27, 159.85 for East Greenwich, and 201 for West Warwick.
I'm going to get this camera for the side.
So we switched our cameras here to the long jump. And that's Smithfield taking that leap. And scheduled for a 1,500-meter run, which is the next event on the track. We have 13 competitors. Olivia Jolly of North Kingstown, Jessica Martin of East Greenwich, Jillian Blazer of North Kingstown, Megan Janicki of West Warwick, Stella Lozos of Cranston East, Gabriella Carnivale of North Kingstown, Nina Gallio of West Warwick, Elena Uriza of Smithfield, Crystal Garrido of West Warwick, Sadie Damago of Smithfield, Lauren Reinhard of East Greenwich, Riley Shunny of East Greenwich, and Aaliyah Maybaum of East Greenwich. So our top seed based on time, Olivia Jolly, 455.18. But look for Riley Shunny of East Greenwich to be up there too. She was our 3,000-meter winner last week. And the gun is fired for the one and only heat of the 1,500. there we have it. Riley Shunny taking control from the beginning. Riley last week ran 10:41.68 for the 3,000. That's a time that currently ranks number 4 in the state after Reese Faye's performance today. So Riley Shunny, Olivia Jolly right behind, and it looks like about 38 seconds after 200 meters. So Riley, a two-time first-team All-Stater in cross-country, running her first year of indoor track. So this is not surprising, seeing how well she's doing in the distance events.
Next to coaches, we need help with the hurdles.
So Riley Shunny, just about 77, 78 seconds after 400 meters. But Olivia Jolly right behind her. And it looks like right there in third, Jillian Blazer of North Kingstown. And Olivia Jolly taking over the lead. 600 meters passed in 1:56, 1:57. And again, Olivia coming in here with a 4:55.18 best. She ran that last week. So Riley Shunny taking the lead and increasing it. Actually, Olivia Jolly, sorry about that, taking the lead and increasing it. She took over the lead right around 3 laps into this race. She was just under 240 after 800 meters. About 3:15 after 1,000. And a 5-second lead on Riley Shunny of East Greenwich. So like I said, Olivia Jolly taking over the lead right around 3 laps, and the last 2 laps has increased her advantage. She is 3:55 after 1,200. Olivia's coming off a strong cross-country season where she finished 8th at the state championship, and she was 10th at the Class A meet. So at 100 meters to go, a 4:33, 4:34 passed on the clock. So she will be under 5 minutes. And that's Riley Shunny with an unbelievable kick to just get by her. She came out of nowhere to win this race, and it looks like about 4:53, 4:54. Riley Shunny, Olivia Jolly right behind, but out of nowhere. Riley Shunny coming on strong those final 100 meters. So next on the track we'll have the 55-meter hurdles. And we're going to have 3 heats of the hurdles. I'm waiting for an official time on Riley Shunny and Olivia Jolly, our 1-2 finishers in the 1500. Riley Shunny coming out of nowhere to win this race. Riley held the lead for the first 3 laps. Olivia took it over and actually built her lead to about 4 or 5 seconds. And then the final lap, Riley Shunny coming on strong and sprinting past her with just 15-20 meters remaining. .451.46 for Riley Shunny, the official time. That puts her number 3 in the state. And Olivia Jolly, 451.76, improving on her PR from last week by about 4 seconds. So as you can see, our hurdles are all set up on the track for the first of 3 heats of the 55-meter hurdles. Scheduled in this heat, Nina Finn of North Smithfield, Brenna Lawrence of Smithfield, Isabella Conti of Cranston West, and Grace Lane of North Smithfield. Top time in the state so far in this event is held by Chloe Green of South Kingstown. She ran 9.42 last week. Our number 1 seed in this event is Emily Coleman of North Kingstown. She's in the 3rd heat. She ranks number 3 in the state right now, 9.66. But again, right here on the track is the first of 3 heats of the 55-meter hurdles. And that's Cranston West, Isabella Carr in the lead here, and taking this first heat. And next on the track is section number 2 of 3. Madison Pitts of Smithfield in lane 1. Rachel Cambio of West Warwick in lane 2. Sophia Pereira of Smithfield in lane 3. Lola Bolcom of East Greenwich, lane 4. Madeline Baxter of Cranston East, lane 5. Gabby Petrella of Cranston West, lane 6. Annabelle Rosario of Cranston East in lane 7. And Lily Shaughnessy of East Greenwich in lane 8. So we'll be switching over to there soon. Right here we have the long jump, and that's looks like Cranston West And it does look like we have a scratch in this event. Sophia Pereira, who's scheduled to occupy lane number 3, not in this race. And that's West Warwick's Rachel Cambio winning that heat. And we do have results from the previous heat, 10.66 for Isabella Conti of Cranston West to win heat number 1. And looks like Gabby Petrella winning heat number 2. .87. So that's West Warwick in the long jump, and we're switching back over to the 55-meter hurdles. We have 8 competitors. Jackie Durando of North Smithfield, Annalise Poison of North Kingstown, Emily Kuhlman, Lindsay Hoban, Abigail Gill, Olivia Lahoo, Ariel Roberts, and Maya Frenza. And Emily Coleman, our top seed, winning that heat and winning the individual title, 9.58. Lindsay Hoban getting second place. She also went under 10 seconds, 9.86. And we'll be switching over to the 55-meter dash shortly, where we have 4 heats scheduled to run. In heat number 1, Stella Ruff of East Greenwich, Abigail Fortin of North Smithfield, Grace Clark of East Greenwich, Chloe Barber of Pontegansett, and Peyton Klein of Pontegansett. And our number 1 time here in the 55-meter dash, not surprising, is Sophia Gorioran, who ran 7.56 last week. And that's tied with Sadie Souls of North Kingstown, who's running today. Sadie is in section 4. So Sophia would range from the 55 to the 3,000. Of course, her primary events are the middle distance 600, as she proved last night, running 127.02, a national sophomore record, and the 800, where she owns a 2:02.97 best, less than a half a second from the Olympic trials qualifying standard. So again, Nina Finn, Brenna Lawrence, Isabel Conti, actually Stella Roof, Abigail Fortin, Grace Clark, Chloe Baxter, and Peyton Klein in this 55-meter dash. The first of 4 heats. And Ruff taking that heat 8.30 and 8.42 for Grace Clark getting the second position. So 8.30 the time to beat. Next on the track is going to be heat number 2. We have 8 scheduled to run there. Janelle Perry of Cranston East, Taryn Kelly of Smithfield, Emily Chattel of Situate, Abby Dyko of Situate, Sadie Hurley of Lincoln, Gabriella Navarro of Lincoln, Abigail Chattel of Situate, and Camilla Tabora of Lincoln. Very close race there. Sadie Hurley of Lincoln winning that heat. .00. So we are heat number 3. Lena DeLuro of East Greenwich, Ariel Roberts of Smithfield, Celia Bastinian of Smithfield, Gabriella Gonzalez of West Warwick, Ava Fairbanks of East Greenwich, Courtney DeChonk of North Kingstown, Alyssa Hughes of Lincoln, and Ashley Tanetti of Cranston West running that heat. And as you can see, our cameras are at the long jump. Ava Fairbanks winning that heat 8.07. That's the time to beat. So in heat number 4, we have Isabella Conti of Cranston West, Abigail Tober of North Kingstown, Sydney Brickle of North Kingstown, Sadie Souls, our top seed of North Kingstown, Madison Alves of Cranston West, Lauren Boyd of Smithfield, Alani Sutherland of Cranston West, and Theo Nayan of North Smithfield. Sadie Souls, our top seed. And Sadie Souls, our winner.
First call, 300-meter check-in.
Like I said last week, running 7.56, which ties with Sophia Goria run as the top time in the state. .58 for Sadie Souls. Madison Alves of Cranston West getting second. It looks like 7.69. And 7.75 for Lauren Boyd for third.
We gotta grab.
So next on the track we'll have the 600-meter run. That's 3 laps around this track. We're going to have 2 heats. Rachel Hoban of Cranston West, Reagan Shabbat of North Kingstown, Emily Rollinson of Smithfield, Marissa McDonough of Smithfield, Blake Liptrot of Situate, Christy Ramage of Smithfield, Juliana Andrus of Cranston West, Alexis Hurley of Lincoln, Thea Carr of North Kingstown, Julia DeFilippo of Cranston West, and Eden Beauregard of North Smithfield. So 11 runners scheduled to be running in this heat. Our number one runner in this heat, Rachel Hoban. She's in lane number 1, 2:03:08 seed time. Right behind Reagan Shabbat of North Kingstown, only a freshman, 2:04. So the number 1 seed overall in the 600 for today is Riley Specht. She'll be in heat number 2, 1:41:64 seed time. But right now the first of 2 heats underway. And that's Rachel Hoban of Cranston West taking the lead. So Rachel Hoban in the lead right there in second. Emily Rollinson of Smithfield. And Emily now taking over the lead just before 400 meters. About 77 seconds on the bell lap. So Emily Rollinson And that's Rachel Hoban retaking the lead. And pulling away on the final stretch to win this heat in about 2:02, 2:03. So right around her seed time. So lining up on the track next for the second of two heats of the 600, we have our number one seed, Riley Specht of Lincoln, Johanna Gallio of West Warwick, Zoe Candrabone of Cranston East, Helena Dunwoody of East Greenwich, Katie Huntley of East Greenwich, Tori Chase of North Kingstown, Gabriella DeFilippo of Cranston West, Ellie Drinkwater of North Kingstown, Ava Bozick of Lincoln, Abigail Tremblay of North Smithfield, and Madeline Baxter of Cranston East. Riley Specht, again, our number one seed. She's in lane number 1, 1:41.63 seed time. It's about 5 seconds faster than the next seed in this race. So expect Riley to take the lead from the beginning.
I'm just going to grab it anyway. They're going to grab my phone.
So as expected, Riley Specht taking the lead in the final heat of the 600-meter run. Riley ran just under 150 last week, winning with ease. Right about 33, 34 seconds after 200 meters. So Riley Specht looks like 67 seconds after 400 meters. And that's Tori Chase of North Kingstown and Zoe Canterbone of Cranston East in those next two positions. But Riley Specht, our leader from the beginning, winning this race right around 145. With Tori Chase getting second.
Ladies in the 300, heat 1 is scratched, heat 2 will be running first. Boyez in Bristol from North Smithfield to West Warwick.
So we will have 5 heats of the 300. Originally we had 6, but they just informed us that the first heat has been scratched, so we have heat number 2 on the track shortly.
How are you showing on this side? No? Yeah, Headley. No, it's the long jump. Try to lead me that.
So right there we have the high jump. Our camera's on the high jump.
Good, there should be nobody
That was Cranston West.
that double that is not just checked into the next event or competed in the event. Once you are finished running, jumping, you must go. Girls upstairs. Smithfield, stay separated, please.
You're in the high jump area.
So 145.87 for Riley Specht winning that 600. Riley was our Class B champion in the 1,000 last year, 3:15.46. And third in the state as a sophomore in the 800 in the outdoor state meet, 2:21.56. So we'll have our camera shortly over there at the 300. 5 heats of this race scheduled to run in heat number 2. Nina Finn of North Smithfield, Camilla Tabera of Lincoln, Janali Pari of Cranston East, Abigail Chattel of Scituate, and Grace Burkett of East Greenwich. So there we have a trackside camera scanning the first heat of the 300-meter dash. That's 1.5 laps around this track. A tough race to run on this track without it being banked. And the gun is fired for the first of 5 heats of the 300-meter dash. And that's East Greenwich's Grace Burkett taking charge in this heat.
You know what to lead! Now, Jenna! Push, Jenna, you got this! Go! You can pass! Let's go! She got her,
So unofficially just over 50 seconds for Grace Burkett.
First one is, if you weren't here last week, we'll let you know that all these races and events today are being put on.
Okay, next on the track will be the second heat of this 300. We have 5 heats.
Girlfriends at home can all watch it.
Emma Dyko of Scituate, Sadie Hurley of Lincoln, Taryn Kelly of Smithfield, Rachel Cambio of West Warwick, and Peyton Klein of Pontigansett.
But if you go to
stay running, they'll connect you with that.
Rachel Cambio
With that being mind,
owning the
out in the lobby,
top
if
seed
you're
time in this race,
interested,
52.67.
by Marathon Sports. By purchasing items from Marathon Sports, you're helping us have this free service. So just remind your parents that.
Lexi, Ava's coming up there, you two are going on a cool down. And then from now on, you're coming, running with me. You're not staying in with the coming outside.
And the second of 5 heats is underway.
All right, Ava's coming up, you guys are gonna cool down together.
And that's Rachel Cambio in the lead in the second of 5 heats of the 300. Looks like just under 52 seconds. So again, her seed time was 52.67. So she looks like she ran faster than that in this heat.
The second announcement we have to tell you today is that early this week it was announced that Bob Palazzo.
So our next heat will have Alyssa Hughes of Lincoln, Haley King of Cranston West, Ashley Tennant of Cranston West, Viviana Figueredo of West Warwick, and Sela Bastian of Smithfield.
Because he's National Coach of the Year.
So here we are with our third heat of the 300. We have 2 more remaining after this. Now it looks like Haley King. Actually, Ashley Tennant of Cranston West. And Celia Bastian winning this race, overtaking the lead just before the final turn. Okay, next on the track we'll have the 4th of 5 heats in the 300. Stella Ruff of East Greenwich, Courtney Danchak of North Kingstown, Gabriella Gonzalez of West Warwick, Catherine Van Gore of North Kingstown, and Theo Nyan of North Smithfield. One and a half laps around this track. And that is North Smithfield. Theo Nyan in East Greenwich's Stella Ruff. Stella has taken the lead coming down the back stretch, coming down the final stretch. And winning this heat about 48 seconds. Unofficially. She came in with a 48.17 seed time. So right around that, possibly faster. So next on the heat, we'll have the fifth heat, the final heat of the 300. Gianna King of Cranston West, Riley Specht of Lincoln, Abigail Tober of North Kingstown, Sadie Souls of North Kingstown, and Madison Alves of Cranston West. So Riley Specht of Lincoln, our 600-meter winner. Back on the track again in the 300. She has a 43.98 seed time. Our top seed is Abigail Tober, 43, or actually Sadie Souls of North Kingstown, 41.20. And there's Sadie right in the lead. Our 55-meter champion. On her way to her second win tonight, this afternoon. So next on the track, we'll have the 1,000. We have two heats of the 1,000. Scheduled to run in heat number 1, Hope Kelly of Cranston West, Riley Shunny of East Greenwich, Sadie Moore of East Greenwich, Anna Durfee of East Greenwich, Sequoia Droulet of Lincoln, Seema Joseph of Cranston West, Brooke Boisvier of Pontegansett, and Jasmine Burt of North Smithfield. So Riley Shunny back on the track after a come-from-behind win in the 1,500, where she ran just over 4:51. So Reese Faze, who won the 3,000 earlier in the day, owns the top time for the 1,000 so far this season, running 3:05.69 last week. And that's Riley Shunny taking control. Again, Riley won the 1,500 in a come-from-behind victory, just about 4:51. Riley was leading the race, got passed by Olivia Jolly of North Kingstown, and then came on strong the final lap to win that race. And right there in second after the first lap is Jasmine Burt of North Smithfield. But Riley already holding a 5-second lead after a lap and a half here of the 1,000. Looks like about 76 seconds after 400 meters. About 8 seconds ahead of the chase pack. So this is Riley's first time running this 1,000 indoors, hence the reason she is in this heat. Right around 155, 156 after 600 meters. Riley Shunny far ahead of the field. So we are approaching 800, 235 with a lap to go. Riley Shunny, our leader from the start. Running close to sub 310 pace. So Riley Shunny winning this race. Looks like right around 308, 309 for Riley Shunny in a solo effort. So Riley, our 1,500 and our 1K champion here today. So we don't have an official time, but it looked like about 308, 309 for Riley Shunny. So that will be the time to beat for heat number 2, which is going to include Olivia Jolly of North Kingstown, Jillian Blazer of North Kingstown, Aria Lee of Cranston West, Stella Loris of Cranston East, Rachel Hoban of Cranston West, Julia Cavanaugh of Smithfield, Lauren Carter of North Kingstown, Georgia Wood of East Greenwich, and Sophia Owen of Smithfield. Olivia with the top seed time in this heat, 3:11:58. She's going to have to run faster than that to beat Riley Shunny. We will give you an official time on Riley's performance in heat number 1 as soon as we have it. We do have the 300 results. Sadie Souls running 42.96 to win that heat, to win the race. So Shunny 3:08:22. That's the time to beat. She won by 40 seconds in that race. So heat number 2, the final heat of the 1,000-meter run on the track. And that's North Kingstown's Jillian Blazer with the early lead. About 37 seconds, 38 seconds after 200 meters. In our number 1 seed, Olivia Jolly, her teammate right behind. Cranston West, Area Lee in 3rd. But North Kingstown teammates Jillian Blazer and Olivia Jolly breaking away from the pack here in the final heat of the 1,000-meter run. Right around 75 seconds after 400 meters. .308 the time to beat in this heat. They are on pace to do that right now. Jillian Blazer and Olivia Jolly leading the way in this heat. And Olivia Jolly taking over the lead. 3:08.22 by Riley Shunny, the time to beat. With just under 2 laps remaining. Our leaders from the start. Olivia Jolly, Jillian Blazer. And Olivia picking up the pace and increasing her lead here on the backstretch. With about a 3 to 4 second lead over her teammate. And about 2:33 on the clock at 800 meters. Again, 3:08.22, the time to beat. Riley Shunny of East Greenwich running that time in heat number 1. And it looks like about 3:12 for our winner in this heat, Olivia Jolly. So Riley Shunny, our overall winner, running 3:08.22 in heat number 1. It was Riley's first time running the 1,000. That time will now put her in the seeded heats of these races from now on. In our final race in the Headley Division meets that we have right now, North Kingstown, East Greenwich, Cranston West, and Cranston East in the 4x400 relay. So that's our final race in the Headley Division meet. Coming up, we'll have the Bayhay Division at 2:45, and then the Dwyer Division at 5 o'clock. Cranston West, our top seed, they ran 37.61 last week, which ranks number 6 in the state right now. So again, the 4x400 relay on the track, the final event of the Headley Division meet. North Kingstown, East Greenwich, top seed Cranston West and Cranston East. Cranston West owning a seed time of 4:37.61. That's about 20 seconds, almost 20 seconds faster than the number 2 seed in this race, Cranston East. So look for Cranston West to take charge in this race. And that is Cranston West, but not by much. Taking the lead here after the first lap. Right there in second, East Greenwich, followed by North Kingstown. So we have a race here, East Greenwich, North Kingstown overtaking Cranston West on the backstretch. But again, it looks like we're going to have a close race, at least after the first 2 laps. That's North Kingstown taking the lead here on the backstretch. So we've had 3 different leaders in this race. But North Kingstown taking the lead and increasing it after 2 legs. About 2:15 on the clock, so well under their seed time, the pace they're going right now. So North Kingstown, Cranston West, in East Greenwich. But you certainly can't predict a winner here quite yet. Cranston West coming on strong to North Kingstown. But North Kingstown, I believe that's Ruby Nunnery. Leading and increasing it here on the backstretch. .325 passed on the clock. North Kingstown taking control here. About a 6-second lead for North Kingstown. But Cranston West coming on strong. With 1 lap remaining, North Kingstown, Cranston West battling it out on the last lap of the 4x400 meter relay. And Cranston West overtaking the lead here on the backstretch. They were our early race leaders and came back and are leading this race, but North Kingstown not giving up. And North Kingstown back in the lead. And winning this race 4:35 unofficially with Cranston West right behind. Okay, this concludes our Headley division meet. Next we'll have the Bayhay division. That's coming up at 2:45, so about 45 minutes we'll have the Bayhay division teams on the track.